Good morning. Good morning. I'm Sharon. I'll be MC this morning. Welcome to Maka Honganji's. Okay. Spring Equinox Sigon Dharma Family Service. Do we have any guests this morning? No? Okay. Please rise if you're able, and let us begin the service by singing Vandana Tisarana together in both Pali and English.
Namo Tassa supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Buddhas.
Thank you. Please be seated. We'll now sing the Gatha Gasho with Amida, which will be led by Reverend Carey. The words will be shown on the screen. This will be followed by quiet meditation.
Namo Amida Butsu. I recite Amida's name with deep joy and gratitude. I usher with Amida trees and grasses and flowers, all grow in great compassion. This light shines throughout the world. I usher with Amida. Flowers bloom and flowers fall. From the seed sprout new flowers. This is the truth unchanging. I usher with Amida. Springtime brings the happy birds. Their songs all praise Amida. I join them in Nembutsu. I usher with Amida. When I call Amida's name, it's Amida calling me. Buddha's voice, my voice are one. I usher with Amida. When I'm lonely, I recite Namo Amida Butsu. Then I feel great compassion. I usher with Amida. Nembutsu in work and play, every day with Amida. Every moment filled with light, I usher with Amida. Remember the golden chain, kindness to all living things. I will follow this teaching. I usher with Amida. In the clear bright morning sun, in the fading light of day, in the darkness of the night, I usher with Amida. Namo Amida Butsu. I live in great compassion. Namanda, Vitsanamanda, Vitsanamanda, Vitsanamanda. Let's sit together quietly for a few moments. So just relax and get comfortable. If you're able, sit forward in your seat and place both feet flat on the ground. Sit up straight. Align your head, neck, shoulders, and back in a straight line that goes down to the floor. Place your hands comfortably in your lap. Now close your eyes and just breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. As you breathe in, you'll feel energy filling your body. And as you breathe out, any stress or worries in your mind just fade away. Just breathe. The sound of the gong will signal the end of our quiet meditation. Namanda, Vitsanamanda, Vitsanamanda.
We would like to encourage everyone to offer incense at this time. The offering of incense is an ancient rite of purification of the mind and body in preparation to hear the Dhamma teachings. Offertory or making donations and offerings to the temple is a practice of dana, the first of the 6 Paramita perfections in the Mahayana Buddhism. Gotha at our altar, which will be found on the screen. Or if you have the Gotha book, pages 16 and 17. Thank you. You may be seated. Let us all recite the golden chain of love together. Let us begin. I am the this golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that what I do now depends not only on my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May everything in the needless golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Now, and now is children's story time.
Oops, no methods.
Oh, they're on vacation.
Okay. Okay. So, monkey.
Well, good morning. I'm glad I found myself this day because sometimes you get lost, So, hey, where's Lucy? Hey, Lucy, there you are. Well, good morning, everyone. It's so wonderful to see all of you today. Unfortunately, it looks like Doc has run away. Whoops. There she is. Nishi and they were trying to be funny. Good morning. Okay. Sorry you can see I'm a little disorganized this morning. But let's go ahead. It's not working. Change the slides on the computer. Oh, it stopped. Okay. Let me reset. Okay. There we go. Okay. So today's story time, brought to you by Auntie Jean H., is The Wonderful Things You Will Be by Emily Winfield Martin. Now there's a place where you could write, this book belongs to me. That's a good way to do it. And the book is dedicated for Nicole de las Heras, who makes our books wonderful. The Wonderful Things You Will Be by Emily Winfield Martin. When I look at you and you look at me, I wonder what wonderful things you will be. When you were too small to tell me hello, I knew you were someone I wanted to know. For all of your tininess couldn't disguise a heart so enormous and wild and wise. This is the first time there's ever been you. So I wonder what wonderful things you will do. Will you stand for good by saving the day? Or play a song only you know how to play? Will you tell a story that only you know? Will you learn what it means to help things grow? Will you learn how to fly to find the best view? Or take care of things much smaller than you? I know you'll be kind and clever and bold. And the bigger your heart, the more it will hold. When nights are black and when days are gray, you'll be brave and be bright, so no shadows can stay. And then you'll discover all there is to see and become anybody that you'd like to be. And then I'll look at you, and you look at me. And I'll love you, whoever you've grown up to be. The end. Yay! The book has a profile of the author and illustrator, Emily Winfield Martin, who's written many books. There we go. And that was the story, The Wonderful Things You Will Be, by Emily Winfield Martin. Wasn't that a great story? Hey, Kenneth, you got your answer ready? Hey, Kenneth, what part did you like? Oh, you like the part where it ended? Well, I like that part too, because that means we can go get some refreshments, huh? What do you say? Yeah, well, you know, since Nietzsche, we got a grown-up son, and we've been so lucky to watch him grow up to be a daddy to our granddaughter and grandson. And we always dream about what our grandchildren might become when they grow up, just like in the book. How about you, Barkley? What part of the story did you like? Me? I loved how the little baby could grow up to be anything and anything they want. Isn't that amazing? I think that little baby Dot is going to grow up to be a rascal, just like her daddy. Barkley the dog, the rascal dog, the star of the children's drama story time. Wouldn't that be cool? Dot, the rascal ladybug dog. What part of the story did you like, Lucy the Ladybug, love of my life? Well, mahalo for asking, Barkley. I loved how no matter what the baby may grow up to be, the mommy and daddy will always love the little baby, no matter what he, she, or they may grow up to be. Wow, that's right, Lucy the Ladybug, the love of my life. I know that I'll always love you and baby Dot just as you are, because I'm crazy about you two. Hey, say, baby Dot, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be Big Dot. Not Mommy Dot too. Yeah, you got that right. Not Mommy Dot too. And sometimes I want to be a lady, and sometimes I want to be a rascal, and sometimes just me, Dot, just as I am too. Yay, not Mommy Dot too. Yay, not Mommy Dot too. Yay, not Mommy Dot too. Okay, that sure is not Mommy Dot too right there. Well, thank you very much, and let's give everybody a hug. Okay. Ooh. Okay, well, thank you very much. Sensei forgot something. But not too much. Thank you, Ken. Very good. Okay. Other guys off around here. Okay. So, today, for the adult Dharma talk, this one is actually titled Amida Is. I'm leaving it blank. So I'm going to talk about the Buddha, Shakyamuni, and my Buddha, Amida. So Auntie Sharon, a Dharma school teacher, she asked me to help the students learn about the Buddha, in quotes, the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, and our Buddha, again, in quotes, our Buddha here, the Honganji Amida Buddha, which made me laugh because Kaikyoshi ministers like myself were required to graduate from the seminary precisely to learn how to answer that question. So thank you, Auntie Sharon. Thank Dharma School students for raising a question that I'm actually trained to answer. And the rest, everybody else can go to sleep because it's going to get kind of technical. Because for kids, it's really, really simple. Right? Amida Buddha is my Buddha. Right? The Buddha for me, just as I am. So we put our hands together in Gassho, we bow our heads in gratitude, and we say Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Buddha. Mahalo Amida for kindness and understanding beyond words. So we're basically just saying, thank you, Amida. And then, right, for Dharma school kids, who's the Buddha? Who's Shakyamuni Buddha? Shakyamuni Buddha is the great teacher who teaches us about Amida Buddha. The Honganji tradition, the Buddha was born, came to this world specifically to teach about Namo Amida Butsu. Right, to specifically share these teachings, to reveal the existence of Amida Buddha. And so, right, for the Dharma school kids, it's easy. We celebrate and we learn from Shakyamuni Buddha's life, from the Buddha's life, because Shakyamuni Buddha was a real person, lived about 2,500 years ago, was a real human being. This is agreed by scholars. And so we learn everything, we learn how he gave up everything to find the truth, and we learn how he found the truth. And then we learn how he shared the truth so everyone could be happy. Okay, that's the children's part. That's easy, right? Okay, take a deep breath. For adults, it's more complicated. You actually need a master's degree in Buddhist studies to expound upon all of the aspects of the 84,000 paths in Buddhism. So there's literally countless paths and practices for seeking the ultimate and absolute truth. So, for example, to define the difference between the Buddha, the historical Buddha, and Amida, you'll need to be able to explain each of these terms or concepts. So raise your hand if you can do that. Some of them, hopefully, you recognize. Other ones, it's like, what? So, Amida is a, yes, Anna.
Buddha.
Buddha. Who's the Buddha?
The Buddha is the person who learned the truth by giving up everything and not eating.
Very good. Very good. That's right, the Buddha. I'm sorry, I forgot. I can't. It's so frustrating. Short-term memory, like it went in and it just goes out somewhere. But you're exactly right. Oh, that's right. I was going to say, because he was a real person. So you got the first part absolutely correct. So the person was a human being, right? Who learned how for people to be happy and then shared it. Very good. 10 points for Ken. Very good. Okay. Here's one. B. Amida is Tathagata or Tathagata, depending on your pronunciation. Tathagata. Okay, we can define that one. Okay, I know Mike knows this stuff, but we're not going to call on him. And then we're going to get into some really fun stuff like Sambon Kaya, the Nirmana Kaya, the Dharma Kaya, and then the final answer, E, all of the above. So here we go. Okay, so what did the Buddha teach, right? So this is the basics of Buddhism. Now, the historical Buddha taught the truth of dependent origination, that everything, including ourselves, arises from causes and conditions. Right? We just didn't suddenly appear, no, because I have a mom and dad, that's why I'm here. Right? I got married to Mimi, that's why we have a son, Kembo, that's why we have grandchildren, Melody and Cadence. So I arise from causes and conditions. This temple arises from causes and conditions. And so everything that arises from causes and conditions is one, not permanent, right? Constantly changing. All things arising from causes and conditions are quote-unquote empty, sunyata in the Indian idea, but also the idea of emptiness in the Chinese philosophy. So the idea is being that all things that arise from causes and conditions have no substance, have no self, as it were. The human truth, Truth of human life, well, you're born, you age, your body and mind falls apart, and then you reach the end of life. There are no exceptions. And thus the Buddha taught the Four Noble Truths, that suffering or dukkha, dissatisfaction, discontent, it exists. Unhappiness exists in this human life. And there's a cause of this unhappiness, the cause of dukkha. The cause is our self-centered attachments. If you get rid of self-centered attachment, you are free. And then you can break free of the cycle. And so the Eightfold Noble Path, which we try to teach the children in Dharma school, right view, right livelihood, etc., etc., etc. And this, collectively, this is called the path of discipline. So you have to shave your head, you have to become a monk, you have to say bye-bye to the real world, and you go off to the mountains to study and search for the truth. So these are the Buddha's insights and ideas and practices become the core of quote-unquote the Dharma teachings. And then there are three major streams. Right? So Theravada Buddhism is the original path of discipline. You'll find this primarily in India, Sri Lanka. And then Mahayana, which is part of the eastward and northern transmission. So as Buddhism, the teachings of Buddha, the Dharma goes from India to Central Asia. It is here in Central Asia where the idea of Amida emerges, and then it goes into China. Right? In China, Buddhism meets Confucianism, legalism, the analogs of Confucian, the ideas of Chinese culture, and that fusion results in Zen. So the Buddha didn't teach Zen. This is actually development in Asia. And then the Pure Land tradition, of which Jodo Shinshu is part of. So the Pure Land tradition, well, Zen and the Pure Land tradition go to Japan. And there they become what we know of as quote-unquote Zen Buddhism. What we know as Jodo Shinshu Buddhism is not wrong with that. And so, oops, we lost the connection. Okay. And the other one is to the north, to Tibet, where you get Vajrayana, also Tantric Buddhism. So if you know Tibetan Buddhists, right, so the Mali Dharma Center down there, the Lama he's a monk, he's a Lama, he's a great teacher. But his tradition is called Vajrayana, and it's a much more mystical kind of tradition. So making the mandalas on the ground to make these beautiful sand paintings. We might have one, right, that cover up the entire floor of this hondo. It might take 2 weeks to make this beautiful representation of the Pure Land. And when we're done, we just go, you just brush it off the floor and say goodbye. We just spent 2 weeks making this piece of art, and then we just, so it's a different kind of tradition. And so you're going to find, right, there's countless culturally appropriate expressions of the truth, which reflect the influence and the fusion of culture and language and civilizations over thousands of years. So the evolution of monastic and non-monastic practices emerges over centuries, over thousands of years. So, what did Shinran teach? What's up with Jodo Shinshu? What's up with the Pure Land Way, the true essence? So Shinran asserted that the essence of the Pure Land Way, of Jodo, the Shinshu of Jodo, it's not actually Jodo Shinshu, it's the Shinshu of Jodo that he taught. It's an interesting one. This is one of the reasons why the Nembutsu gets banned during his lifetime. Is because he taught that this teaching, Namu Amida Butsu teachings, is the ultimate refinement of Buddhism. Everything you need to know in Buddhism has been refined into this idea that we are called by Amida to say Namu Amida Butsu. That is practice right there. You don't have to do anything else. So, again, this becomes a bit of a challenge to the established Buddhist institutions. And so, right, so Pure Land Buddhism in the form of Jodo Shinshu, the Honganji, comes to Hawaii, right, 135 years ago. Honganji literally means the temple of Amida's vow, the temple of the vow, of the original vow or the primal vow. So when you say, here's a good one that you should take pride in. In Japan, there are only 2 Honganjis. Right? There's the Honganji, which is in Kyoto, so Honzan, our mother temple. The other one is Tsukiji Honganji. All other temples have a different name, Koshoji or Senshinji or whatever it may be. Right? Here in Hawaii, we're allowed to say place name, location name, Honganji. So the fact that I'm the resident minister of a Makuwa Honganji, for my class, my Japanese classmates, they go, "Oh, Kiri-san, you big guy," right? Because we got Honganji. But I said, no, all of our temples are called Honganjis. Until we do the rebranding, which is the popular topic right now. So, Makuwa Buddhist Temple, I did that just because on the sign it's a lot easier to read. Windward Buddhist Temple, as opposed to Kailua Honganji. So, would changing the name help us get more members? I argue the reverse. Honganji is actually our brand. And it's not Honganji, it's Hongguanji. Hongguanji. And it's the Bon dance. Here, Makuwa Hongguanji, it's about the garage sale. So anyway, I just do that as an insight, but you can take pride in the fact that we are allowed to call ourselves Honganji, which is kind of amazing. So 135 years ago, this teaching shows up in Japanese, but for the generations who are born here in Hawaii, it has to evolve in English. But think about that, right? Culturally speaking, it's gone from segregated plantation villages. You only have the Japanese village with the Japanese Buddhist temples. You have the Portuguese village with the Catholic cathedral. It's separate. And then we make the transition from the Kingdom of Hawaii to statehood, well, actually to being a U.S. territory, and then to statehood later on. And even today, you can see the echoes of Japanese culture in the Honganji. But are we Japanese? That's the interesting question. 46% of people say in Hawaii respond that they're mixed. They don't identify as Japanese. And it's probably increased since the last time I saw the numbers. But think about that. If you don't identify as Japanese, why would you attend a Japanese Buddhist temple? I don't know. Hopefully you're searching for the truth. But Shinran's teachings, over the past 135 years have offered people strength and serenity in the midst of everyday life. That's it. That's the teaching. So, so how do you get from the Buddha to Amida Buddha? So let's define the basic terms. As Kenneth said, right, a Buddha is a real person, is a human being who has awakened. Awakened to what? Awakened to reality as it is. So the first is the Eightfold Path, right? Seeing things as they are, right view. Because the Buddha taught that it's our ego that says, no, I want it to be not so much fog. I want clearer weather today. But I can't influence that by myself. But that's why I'm not happy, because I want it to be something else. Whereas if you see reality as it is, we see, well, there's the big volcano explosion thing going on in the Big Island. Of course the fog's going to come this way. So wear a mask or do something. Okay, so this is the one that where it gets confusing in American English, because we say the Buddha. The Buddha. So, right, definitive article. When you hear the Buddha, this refers to historical Buddha, Gautama Siddhartha, the human being who becomes the Buddha of our age about 2,600 years ago. And then, if you're Honganji, you hear Shakyamuni Buddha. This is considered an archaic term now, they don't use this anymore. But it's one of the historical names, which means, Shakyamuni actually means the sage of the Shakya clan. So it's just an identification. And in Japanese, we say Shakyamuni Butsu. If you go to the Zen temples, they don't say Namo Amida Butsu, they say Namo Shakyamuni Butsu. So again, just saying, taking refuge in a different Buddha. So how do you become a Buddha? You should know all this by now. You become a monk, basically. Right? You study, you keep working at it, you meditate, you gain insight into the truth of human existence, you gain true understanding of the true nature of all things and phenomena arising from causes and conditions. Who's ready? Let's go. And this is the path of discipline, the path of sages. The Pure Land Way, which is about Namo Amida Butsu, the faith of Shinjin, it's called the easy path. If you remember the Shoshingo, it's a part where we say Igyo, and that means easy path, easy practice. Because it's open to anyone. You don't have to become a monk. You don't have to be a scholar. You don't have to understand all of these concepts. You just have to accept Namo Amida Butsu as it comes. So why become a Buddha? Why would you make the effort to become a Buddha? So Siddhartha sought a way to alleviate dukkha. Dukkha can be translated as suffering, dissatisfaction, discontent, unhappiness, or stress. My favorite translation of dukkha is stress. There's stress in life, like it or not. So what is the Dharma? We talk about the three choices. We talk about a Dharma-centered organization. We have to make a Dharma-centered organization. It's basically the historical Buddha's insights, ideas, truths, practices. This becomes the Dharma teaching, the foundation of Buddhism. Dharma is also used to refer to reality as it is. So when you see things as they are, that reality is also called the Dharma. And this is basically beyond human perception, comprehension, and conception. Right? So we can't perceive a lot of this, we can't understand it, we can't even make the idea correct. What is the Sangha? The Sangha is everybody here. The Buddha's teachings, the Dharma, inspires people. It's hundreds of millions. Measured by that, it's about 600 million people around the world, which makes Buddhism collectively about the third largest world religion. So for people to say, oh, Buddhism's not a real religion, is kind of missing the point. Okay, here we get to the fun stuff. What's a Tathagata? Okay, here we go. The historical Buddha referred to himself. So when the Buddha was talking about himself, he used the term Tathagata, which can be translated as the one who has thus gone and the one who has thus come. So in Japanese, Tathagata is translated as Nyorai. So sometimes you'll hear Amida Nyorai in the Japanese chanting that we do, which means coming from thusness. Coming from thusness. Okay, this is even more fun, but you need to remember this one because there is going to be a test. So what is a Sambo Ga Kaya? Sambo Ga Kaya. Okay. So here we go. Sambo Ga Kaya is the enjoyment body, or the body of recompense, which is the Dharma, as kindness and understanding beyond words, which we know as Amida Buddha. So Amida is considered a Sambo Ga Kaya. Okay, here's a good one. This is D, Nirmanakaya. Okay, raise your hand if you know what a Nirmanakaya is. Okay. Nirmanakaya translates as the transformation body. It's the Dharma in a human form. It is Gautama Buddha, the Buddha of our age. So the Buddha is considered Nirmanakaya. And then we get to the third one, which is E, the Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya is translated as the Dharma body. It is the Dharma itself. It is absolute reality beyond human perception, comprehension, conception. It's formless, it's timeless, reality as it is. It's also been translated as suchness or thusness. Okay, raise your hand if your head hurts. Right? It's like, boom, what is all this stuff? So, in the article I wrote for the newsletter, I said, wow, my head hurts. Can you make it a little bit easier, please? Sure. Just say Nam Myoho Butsu. Okay, we're done. Because Shinran teaches the true cause of birth into the Pure Land, becoming Buddha, right, which is the easy path open to all of us here, is the faith of Shinjin. When you truly hear Amida calling to you, and you say Nam Myoho Butsu, it's working in all of your lives right now. We're just not paying attention. So this life of Shinjin, a life of faith, the life of gratitude, it begins with and ends with saying Nam Myoho Butsu. And yet we're shy, right? It's like, we're not just yelling out Nam Myoho Butsu all the time. But that is the core of the practice. So if you don't want to know the difference between Nirmanakaya, the Dharmakaya, and all of these technical things, which, by the way, is why you send ministers to go to school, so we can explain all this stuff. But the teachings come down to just say Nam Myoho Butsu. Because it's an expression of our gratitude, which comes from humble humility, which comes from faith. And so, Shinran teaches that we say Nam Myoho Butsu in gratitude, in profound humility, for Amida, the kindness and understanding beyond words, working in our lives just as it is, and working in us just as we are. Nam Myoho Butsu. Okay, pop quiz. What kind of Buddha is Amida? I can't even remember that word. It's like Sambung Ga Kaya. But the point just being, right? You don't necessarily have to understand all of this stuff. But for Sharon, for your point, I mean, when parents ask, you got to teach the kids the difference between Shakyamuni and Amida, the parents need to understand this stuff. But the point, Shinran's point is, you actually don't need it. But if you ask the question, we all went to school, we're happy to teach this stuff. So. But it's up to you. Thank you very much. And we'll just close with the wisdom of Shinran Shonin. Solely saying Amida's name constantly, one should respond with gratitude to the universal vow of great compassion. The words of Shinran Shonin. Namo Amida. And you can find this quote in the Shoshin. Okay, back to you, Sharon. Thank you.
Okay, we're all cleared. I think we all understood.
Okay,
Okay.
So I don't have to give this lecture again.
No,
I might get some cliff notes though. All right, thank you, Sensei, for the clarification and your Dharma message this morning. Okay. Let us all chant the Metta Sutra, the Loving Kindness Sutra. Ready?
May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May I be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to me. May I live in peace and harmony. May my family be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my friends be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my teachers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May strangers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my enemies be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. Not one.
Reverend Carey will now lead us in gratitude meditation.
So once again, let's sit together quietly for a few moments. So just relax and get comfortable. If you're able, sit forward in your seat and place both feet flat on the ground. Now sit up straight. Align your head, neck, shoulders, and back in a straight line that goes down to the floor. Place your hands comfortably in your lap. Now close your eyes halfway so that you're looking both outwardly and inwardly. And just breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. As you breathe in, think of something for which you are grateful. As you breathe out, just say mahalo. Just say thank you, thank you, thank you. Just breathe. Sound of the gong will signal the end of our guided meditation.
Ondokusaka Hymn of Gratitude, written by Shinran Shonin, which will be found on the screen. Please remain standing for the Nembutsu. Embraced by Namu Amidabutsu, I vow never to complain. Thinking thus, again, I complained. The wisdom of Mrs. Haru Matsuda, who lived from 1892 to 1974, as he said, lived in Konoha already. Namu Amidabutsu. Please be seated and thank you for joining our service this morning. Are we have any announcements? Sure. Okay, so next week, no service here at Makawao. It's going to be April 6th, so this will be the Hamatsuri service at Wailuku Honganji. This is the Central Maui service. So hopefully we'll have people from Jodo Mission and some of the other temples as well. The following Sunday, April 13th, will be Hanamatsuri here at Makawao. If you'd like to help decorate the Hanamido, or if you want to donate flowers or something, let us know. We'll figure it out. I think me and Sharon are going to figure out when we're actually going to try to set the thing up. April 20th, Dharma Family Service. And mark your calendar for April 27th, BWA Eshinni Kakushinni Memorial Service. Our guest speaker will be Reverend Blaine Nakasone Sakata, who is the youngest Kaikyoshi minister in Hawaii. He's also single, good-looking young man, so just in case, just kind of mention that for whatever reasons, you know. And he's going to be staying overnight, oh, that's right, he has to fly back that afternoon, unfortunately. But I was kind of hoping some people have a chance to meet with them. So. Okay, I think that's Yes Camp, number 41, Malama Amida, is open to anyone 13 to 23. You don't have to be a Buddhist, you don't have to be a member of a Honganji temple. So you can bring a friend, and there's a 50% discount on the registration. And our very own Jamie Yokoyama, she's going to be a counselor
for Yes Camp this year. I was surprised. In my head, she's like going to be, no, you're a camper. She's a counselor now. So, I was the guest minister last year, and it's a fabulous experience. And this year, they're finally returning to an actual campground, so it should be more fun. So anyway, if you're not signed up, I encourage everyone to sign up. I tried to get my granddaughter, tried to get Melody to do it. She's kind of like, I don't know about that, Grandpa. So she's not too sure what's going on with that. Okay, that's everything I have. Karen, do you have something about garage sale or?
Do one for us.
Okay.
See how much you know.
Yep, very good. Any other announcements?
Well, I personally like to thank the ladies who volunteered at the funeral yesterday, you know, since I was not here, and also the people that are on that funeral and Nokutsudo committee. Thank you very much. And, oh, Hanamido. We're going to do it on, what day is it?
Okay, figure it out.
Well,
It's going to be at 3 o'clock on that Saturday,
Day before, so that,
day before our Hanamatsuri.
which, so that
Kenneth.
would be
What is Hanamatsuri?
the 12th.
Whose birthday is it? Mine! Yay!
she's a Buddha.
The Buddha Sharon.
2,000 years old! Yay! Kenneth, whose birthday is it? Huh?
Yes.
You don't remember?
Every time we show the video, there's
Every time we show the
Buddha-
video.
That's Planet Buddha right there.
Yeah. So,
Okay, we're gonna have to bring the video back.
yeah. Okay, thank you, Kenneth. Thank you very much. So it'll be on Saturday, the day before our Hanamatsuri.
Yeah.
And I encourage all our Ohana, even though we're not having Dharma school that day, but to please share that joyous occasion with us at Temple. They will have Dharma school the following week, okay? The following Sunday. Anything else? So we'll be maybe decorating about 3 o'clock or so after Mimi rests after her busy job at Komodo Bakery. And if you have any flowers, you know, we welcome any flowers and greenery. Okay, thank you. Have a good week.
Very good.
Okay. Go have refreshments.
Okay. What's for lunch?